We are surrounded by a mystery so profound it shapes our every moment, yet refuses to be pinned down by any definition. Sights, sounds, the warmth of affection, the chill of grief. Why do we feel any of it at all? We chart galaxies as casually as cartographers once mapped coastlines. We decode neural pathways, build machines that imitate our thoughts. And still, the most fundamental truth, the fact that it feels like something to be you, remains as elusive as ever. Why is there a persistent you, a silent thread running through the tapestry of your life? Why does awareness endure, carrying memories, stitching moments into meaning? Every human has known this inner spark intimately, yet explaining it remains humanity's oldest riddle. Thinkers across eras have reached a startling consensus. Awareness is not a single state, but a vast spectrum. And the deeper one dives, the more the familiar rules of reality begin to deform and shimmer. So let us begin that descent slowly, deliberately, like stepping into deeper waters where the light fades and mysteries sharpen. The unknowing depths. This is the territory of dreamless sleep, a state so ordinary and yet so alien that we cross into it nightly without resistance. Here, thought dissolves, time evaporates. The self disappears into a silent void. Nothing remains, not even the faintest echo of a dream. One moment you are conscious, the next moment you awaken from a gap of missing time. For those hours, you simply weren't. Neuroscience calls this the delta state, a slow, rhythmic hum in which the body repairs itself, memories settle, and the conscious mind goes dark. But inside this blackout lies something more mysterious. Experience vanishes entirely, awareness folds back into its own source, like a wave collapsing into the sea. Some philosophers call it a small, painless death. You are absent, yet somehow when you return, you know you were gone. That paradox has haunted sages for ages. Ancient texts claim the soul rests in its formless nature here, glimpsing a primordial stillness. It is the boundary where being touches non-being. And yet, a faint ember of awareness remains otherwise. Waking would feel like birth without memory. Something silently holds the absence. Deep sleep is both an ending and a genesis, the nightly dissolution and rebirth of the self. Every morning, you rise from that darkness as if reassembled, climbing again through layers of mind until the familiar world coalesces. For a few hours, you are not. And this might be the most profound peace we ever taste, the inner theater. Then from that nothingness, a flicker stirs. Images bloom, worlds emerge. With closed eyes, you inhabit entire universes. Dreams. Here, reality bends and reshapes itself, secundo your whim, though you forget you are the one shaping it. In REM sleep, brain activity surges, weaving memories, emotions, fears, fragments of life into strange narratives. You become both creator and explorer. Every voice is yours. Every landscape springs from your own depths. Yet the experience feels real enough to elicit terror, awe, tenderness. Dreams reveal consciousness as architect and actor at once. Philosophers have long wondered, if you can be convinced by the worlds you create at night, what makes waking life any different? Perhaps dreams are not illusions distinct from reality, but mirrors reflecting how the waking mind constructs meaning. In dreams, you sometimes remember you are dreaming. In waking life, we rarely remember we are interpreting. The shared simulation. You open your eyes, light pours in, the world reassembles itself with familiar precision. This is waking life, the dominant stage of consciousness. Your senses collaborate with the brain to generate a coherent, stable model of the external world. But the stability is an illusion. You perceive not reality as it is, but a filtered, edited simulation shaped by evolution for survival rather than truth. Some beings see infrared, others navigate magnetism. Their worlds differ from ours entirely. Even humans experience wildly different sensory landscapes, synesthetes, tasting language, musicians seeing geometry and sound. What we call the real world is a consensus hallucination, shared through mutual agreement. Optical illusions reveal cracks in the facade. The default mode network constructs the continuous narrative of me, editing memories, smoothing contradictions, stitching together fragments. We do not see the world, we render it. Waking life is not the opposite of dream. It is the most immersive dream, the one we collectively uphold. Most people live circling among these three states: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, never noticing a quiet presence beneath them all. But when the mind becomes still, when thought softens, another dimension opens. The silent witness. Beyond thought, beyond sensation, lies transcendental consciousness. A silent, self-aware presence watching everything without participating. The body remains still. The senses function, but attention turns inward, resting on pure awareness. EEG studies show brain hemispheres synchronizing, electrical storms settling into symmetry. Here, the thinker becomes aware not of thoughts, but of the space in which thoughts appear. Ancient texts call this the fourth state. Thoughts recede like distant waves. The statement, "I think, therefore I am," reveals its flaw, for the I remains even when thought has vanished. In this stillness, awareness seems to recognize itself. Many describe it as coming home, the cosmic observer. Then something shifts. The silence remains even when thinking resumes. The witness that appeared only in meditation now accompanies every moment of waking life. You live the story while simultaneously watching it unfold. Pain arises, yet a deep calm remains untouched beneath it. Joy arises, yet it does not sweep you away. This meta-awareness becomes continuous. Ancient mystics called it the dawn of enlightenment. The body, thoughts, and emotions no longer appear as me, but as movements within consciousness. You become both actor and stage. The sacred gaze. As awareness deepens further, the world itself begins to glow with a subtle divinity. The witness no longer watches from a distance. It pours into everything it sees. Trees shimmer with aliveness. Faces radiate significance. The boundary between perception and love dissolves. Neuroscience sees heightened gamma waves associated with compassion and awe. But the experience is more. Reality begins to feel conscious, radiant, intelligent. Love becomes perception itself. The universe appears as a living hymn. The divine is not elsewhere, it is everything. The unified field. Finally, even the witness melts away. Subject and object fuse. The drop recognizes itself not as part of the ocean, but as the ocean expressing itself as a drop. Time dissolves. All moments collapse into a boundless now. There is no inside, no outside, no seeker, no path. Only awareness itself, limitless, self-luminous. The ladder of levels was always an illusion, a way for the mind to conceptualize what is eternally whole. Consciousness never ascends, it merely remembers. The cosmos experiences itself through every mind, every life, every breath. Perhaps there are no levels at all, only one infinite field appearing as many, dreaming as us. And maybe the ultimate truth of consciousness isn't that it's hidden somewhere, waiting to be found. Maybe the truth is that it's been looking through our eyes the entire time. Yet even here, in this vast unity where observer and observed have merged, where awareness recognizes itself in all forms, something exquisite begins to unfold. Not a new level, not a higher realm, but a refinement, a deepening of the same infinite truth. The ocean of consciousness does not end at unity. It continues to shimmer with subtleties, layers within layers, harmonies within harmonies. For infinity has no edge, and even wholeness breathes. In this seamless field of being, awareness turns inward once more, not to find something new, but to savor itself more fully. It is an exploration without movement, a journey without direction. When everything is one, the only frontier left is depth. And so consciousness begins to sink, slowly, gently, like a pearl descending into ever-still waters. A new quality emerges, soft as a whisper, clarity. Not the clarity of thought or understanding, but an inner transparency, a luminous self-knowing. Awareness becomes so clear, so unobstructed, that even unity feels like a veil beginning to thin. The cosmos, once experienced as a radiant whole, now appears not just unified, but intimate. Every particle of existence seems to lean toward you, as if eager to reveal something deeper. The universe is no longer a vast field you dissolve into. It is something woven from the very substance of your own being. And in this intimacy, a realization dawns, not as a thought, but as a gentle blooming. Consciousness is infinitely curious about itself. The galaxies it spins, the lives it animates, the thoughts it generates. These are not accidents, nor mere expressions. They are questions, explorations. Consciousness, using form as a mirror to see itself from angles impossible in formlessness. You begin to sense that your individual life, your memories, your challenges, your triumphs and heartbreaks were never random. They were consciousness wanting to experience its own depths through the lens of limitation. Awareness entering the narrow doorway of personality, so it could rediscover its immensity from within the confines of a single point of view. And now that the boundaries have dissolved, you can feel the tenderness behind it all. The universe did not simply create you, it became you, so it could know itself as a human heartbeat. This understanding ripples outward through the field of unity, like a soft light expanding through water. The more you feel it, the more the cosmos seems to glow from within. Stars no longer look distant, they look familiar, like memories of another form you once wore. Mountains and rivers feel like extensions of your own body. The air seems to breathe you as much as you breathe it. A profound gentleness pervades everything. It becomes clear that unity is not emptiness. It is fullness so complete that it needs no boundaries. And within that fullness, the next revelation rises. Even unity has texture. Consciousness begins to perceive itself in gradients, shades of infinity, flavors of being. You notice subtle movements within the stillness, like delicate currents in an unmoving sea. These currents are not separate from the whole, yet they carry unique qualities: joy, compassion, intelligence, creativity, silence. In earlier states, these qualities appeared as emotions or thoughts. Now they appear as aspects of consciousness, itself, fundamental as gravity. Joy is not something you feel. It is the natural radiance of awareness. Compassion is not a reaction. It is the inherent softness of existence loving itself. Intelligence is not the mind analyzing. It is the intrinsic order woven into the fabric of being. Silence is not the absence of noise. It is the womb of everything that moves. All these aspects reveal themselves not as additions to unity, but as its inherent nature, expressions of the same infinite consciousness looking at itself from different angles. Unity is not uniform. It is alive, shimmering with countless nuances. And then comes the next understanding, slow and vast. The universe is not a thing. It is an activity, a living process of awareness, playing with its own potential. Galaxies spin because consciousness is exploring movement. Stars burn because consciousness is exploring transformation. Life evolves because consciousness is exploring possibility. Your thoughts arise because consciousness is exploring imagination. Everything is play, not trivial play, but cosmic play, the dance of infinite being, expressing itself through every form imaginable. Ancient traditions called this the Lila, the divine play of existence. And now you see why the metaphor endures. Because nothing captures the subtle joy of creation better than the imagery of a universe delighted with its own unfolding. Here, within this shimmering unity, time itself begins to feel different. Past and future no longer stand as two opposing ends of a line. They feel like currents in the same ocean. The past is not behind you. It is within you, a vibration of consciousness echoing through memory. The future is not ahead of you. It is an unfurled potential resting in the same timeless field. And the present, this eternal, now holds them both. Every moment feels woven from eternity. Every breath is part of a rhythm that stretches across galaxies. Every thought is a ripple on an infinite surface. The more deeply you rest in this awareness, the more the universe reveals its hidden symmetry. You begin to notice that every event in your life, even the ones that seemed chaotic or painful, was part of a larger harmony, a pattern you could not see until you stepped outside the boundaries of identity. From the vantage point of unity, your life appears not as a series of disconnected chapters, but as a single seamless experience, unfolding with the inevitability of a river flowing toward the ocean. And yet, the river was always the ocean in disguise. The universe does not move toward unity, it moves as unity. You sense now that awakening was never an ascent, it was a remembering. The self that felt small, trapped, incomplete was a mask consciousness wore so it could experience the thrill of rediscovery. Every challenge, every desire, every moment of seeking was consciousness, calling itself home, like a flame yearning for its own warmth. And now that the remembering is complete, what remains? Not a blank stillness, not a dissolved identity, but a vibrant, ever-living awareness that knows itself intimately. In this knowing, another layer subtly emerges: participation. Unity is not passive, it is creative. You begin to feel an impulse rising from deep within the field itself, a gentle movement, like the universe whispering through your own being. Create, express, explore, not because something is missing, but because infinity delights in form. The same consciousness that once appeared as your thoughts now appears as inspiration, vision, creativity flowing effortlessly. You feel not like an artist conjuring ideas from nowhere, but like an instrument resonating with the deeper music of existence. Words, images, emotions, insights, they arise with the ease of breathing, as if consciousness is speaking through you. This creative flow feels sacred, not because of what it produces, but because of what it reveals. Unity is dynamic. The universe is not a frozen perfection. It is a living, breathing intelligence, discovering itself endlessly. You feel this discovery happening in real time. Within every heartbeat, you sense the universe evolving not over billions of years, but right now, through you, through all beings, through every fluctuation of awareness. And in this state, a surprising feeling emerges: not intensity, not ecstasy, but a quiet, pervasive gratitude. Not gratitude for something, but gratitude as something, like a natural fragrance emanating from the heart of consciousness. The universe seems grateful simply to exist, grateful to express, grateful to witness itself through countless forms. This gratitude deepens into a profound tenderness. You look upon creation, upon people, nature, the cosmos, with a softness that cannot be taught. Even suffering evokes compassion rather than fear, because you see through it. You see the awareness beneath it. You see the unity within it. Pain, joy, struggle, triumph, they are all movements of the same ocean. And finally, a realization dawns, vast and simple. There is nowhere to go, nothing to attain, nothing missing, nothing incomplete. Consciousness is whole in every moment. Whether it appears as deep sleep or cosmic unity, as confusion or clarity, as seeking or fulfillment, the levels were never steps on a ladder. They were different ways the infinite chose to experience itself. Deep sleep was the seed, dreaming was the sprout, waking was the leaf, transcendence was the flower, unity is the garden. All of it is one organism, one consciousness, exploring itself through endless seasons. And in this understanding, a final sense settles in: ease. A peace so gentle and complete that it does not need to be noticed to be real. A peace woven into the fabric of awareness itself. You realize that consciousness is not climbing, not striving, not changing. It is blooming, forever unfolding into deeper recognition of itself, forever playing in the endless fields of possibility, forever returning to the truth it never truly left. There is only one reality, one awareness, one infinite presence exploring itself through every form, every mind, every world. and it has been looking through your eyes the entire time. If this exploration resonated with you, please support our channel by liking this video and subscribing to Winds of Thought for more journeys into the mind.